And the answer to this question is false. Guys, the answer to this question is false. This symbol, it is called luce abbagliante or proiettore abbagliante. And with the high beam light, when you turn on this light, the sphere on the display, it will be a blue light. It will be a blue light. So this symbol is referring to the high beam light, luce abbagliante. And the symbol will turn to a blue light, not green. This one is blue. Our next question. È obbligatorio accendere i proiettori anabbaglianti nelle gallerie stradali solo se scarsamente illuminati, vero o falso? Yeah, so guys, last week I said that we are now going to get to the questions without images, but they are very simple. They are very, very simple. Vero or falso? And please believe in yourself. We are going to make it. By the grace of God, we shall make it. Guys, and the answer to this question is false. The answer to this question is false. Now, the question says that è obbligatorio, so it is compulsory, accendere I proiettori anabbaglianti. So it means that it is compulsory to turn on the low beam light in the tunnel if only scarsamente illuminati, if only the illumination is poor. So it means that when you are circulating in a tunnel, you are only forced to turn on the low beam light if the illumination, okay, in the tunnel is poor. No. The law says that in galleria, in tunnel, we must always turn on the low beam light. And the question says that we are only forced to turn it on if the illumination in the tunnel is poor or scarce. No. Whether it is poor or better, the law says that once it's a tunnel, we must always turn on the low beam light. Yeah, we are obliged to turn it on always. Doesn't matter the illumination, always. Our next question. Proiettori anabbaglianti male orientati possono abbagliare gli altri utenti della strada, vero o falso? Yeah, so guys, this chapter is one of the chapters with just a few images to the questions. Yeah, most of the questions are all questions without images. So please respond to every question for me to know whether you have understood or we still have some difficulties with these chapters. And the answer to this question is vero. It's vero. Now, the question says that proiettori anabbaglianti, so the low beam light, male orientati. So if they are badly oriented, it means that if they are not well fixed, if they are not in their right position, possono abbagliare, they can dazzle the other uses of the road, guys. And the answer to this question is true. Yeah, if your low beam light, they are not in the rightful position or they are not well fixed, it will tend to be a high beam light, and it will dazzle the sight of other users of the road. So male orientati, if they are poorly oriented, if they are not in their best position, of course, they can tend to be a high beam light and dazzle the sight of other users. So the answer to this question is vero. Si devono usare gli indicatori di direzione prima di ogni cambio di corsia quando si viaggia su strada suddivisa in corsie, vero or falso? Guys, the questions are very, very simple. Yeah. Please, on the first link, I have 97 students. And on the second link, I have 41 students. So please, I want to see all your answers, because these chapters, they have only few questions with images. The rest are all questions without images. So teacher, I want to know your stand. So please try to answer every question you see on this platform. And the answer to this question is vero. Guys, si devono usare gli indicatori. We must use the directional indicators prima di ogni cambio, before every change of lane, when we are traveling on a road with many or with divided lanes. And the answer to this question is vero, guys. When you are driving on a carreggiata and you want to do any changes of your lane, whether turning to your left or to your right, or doing overtaking, once you want to change your lane, we must always show the indicator in advance before we can do such changes on the carreggiata by using other lanes. Our next question. Si devono usare gli indicatori di direzione ogni volta che si deve effettuare una manovra di svolta, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero. So as I was explaining, yeah, the previous question, we must use the direction indicator anytime that we want to do turning, either turning to your left or to your right at a junction. So the answer to this question is vero. La spia di accensione delle luci abbaglianti è di colore rosso, vero o falso? Yeah, so please don't be scared with the questions without images. We are going to make it. The understanding is the key. Once we have the understanding, everything becomes very simple and easy. And the answer to this question is false. Now, the question says that, so the turning on, la spia di accensione, okay? So the spia or the spy of the turning on the high beam light. So on the cruscotto, you will see that the symbol will turn to red to indicate that you have turned on the high beam light. And the answer to this question is false. So guys, what is the light, or what is the color of the symbol indicating the high beam light indicated? Guys, the color of the symbol of Luci abaliante is blue. Yeah, guys, it's not green, it is blue. It is blue. L'uso dei proiettori a luce abbagliante è di norma consentito in città in caso di nebbia fitta, vero o falso? Guys, please don't be confused for the luce abbagliante and luce anabbagliante. Please don't be confused. And the answer to this question is false, guys. L'uso dei proiettori a luce abbagliante. So the use of the high beam light è di norma by the law consentito in città. So by the law, the use of this high beam light is allowed in a city in case of an intense fog. No. No, who says so? The answer is no. The law says that in the city, you can't use a high beam light for your normal circulation. You can only use the high beam light to call attention in order to save an accident. And even to that, it is only a highlight, un lampeggio. Yeah, you just give a highlight to call attention of other users, not to cause an accident. But you can't use a high beam light in the city. So in the city, in case of nebbia fitta, the law says that you have to activate one, the position light, two, the low beam light, and then the fog light. But we don't have to use high beam light in city. No. Our next question. Il simbolo raffigurato è posto sul comando di accensione dei proiettori di profondità, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero, guys. The answer to this question is vero. So this symbol figure, okay, it is found on the command of the turning on your high beam light, proietore de profundità, so the deep light, that is the highlight. And the answer to this question is true, guys. This symbol refers to the high beam light, luce abbagliante or luce di profondità. And this is a bonus question, guys. This is a bonus question. Vero or falso? And the answer to this question is vero. Our next question. Our next question. L'uso degli indicatori di direzione è necessario quando ci si arresta ad un semaforo rosso. Vero or falso? And the answer to this question is false, guys. L'uso degli indicatori di direzione, so the use of the directional indicators, it is necessary quando ci si arresta, when we stop at a red traffic light. No, guys, we use these direction indicators when we want to change our lanes by doing overtaking, turning to the left or to the right, by changing our lanes. So when you get to a traffic light where we have the red light, why must you turn on your indicator? No, it is not necessary when you have a red light at the junction. Our next question. L'uso degli indicatori di direzione non è necessario se si deve parcheggiare il veicolo spostandosi verso il margine destro della carreggiata. Vero or falso? Guys, the questions are very, very sweet. The questions are very, very sweet. And the answer to this question is false. Now, the use of these directional indicators, they are not important or they are not necessary if we must park our vehicle moving to the right edge of the carreggiata. Guys, it is always important when you want to park on the right hand side of the carreggiata, on the left hand side of the carreggiata, because you are changing your lane, you must always use your directional indicators. Yeah, so that today's question is false, because it says that non è necessario, but it is necessary to use your directional indicator when you want to park your vehicle moving to the right edge of the carreggiata. And this is a bonus question. Vero or falso? Indeed, the answer to this question is vero. Yeah, so this symbol is referring to the luce annabaliante. That is the low beam light. Proiettore annabaliante. That's the low beam light. Fuori dei centri abitati, i conducenti devono spegnere i proiettori di profondità procedendo con quelli annabalianti quando stanno per incrociare altri veicoli. Vero o falso? Guys, are the questions not sweet? The questions are very, very sweet. They are long, but very, very simple, guys. Yeah, so the chapters we have, guys, they are chapters with few images to the questions. Most of all the questions today's chapter are questions without images, but they are very simple. And the answer to this question is vero. Fuori dei centri abitati. It means that outside the city. So we are talking about the outskirts, strada secondaria, principale, and the rest. So outside the city, the drivers devono spegnere, they must turn off. I proiettori di profondità, they must turn off the high beam light, procedendo con quelli anabbaglianti. So proceeding, so one, outside the city, the drivers must turn off the high beam light and continue or proceed with the low beam light. Quando stanno per incrociare, when they are about to cross or to come across other vehicles. And the answer to this question is true, guys. If you are using the high beam light and you see vehicles coming, you have to turn off the high beam light and continue with the low beam light. È consentito l'uso intermittente dei proiettori di profondità a luce abbagliante purché l'illuminazione esterna manchi o sia insufficiente, vero o falso? Guys, the questions are very, very simple. And the answer to this question is false. Guys, this is a general question. The question says that it is allowed to use the high beam light so far as the public illumination is poor or insufficient. If the question was talking about fuori città, then the answer would be true. But this one is a general question. So it goes to the city and outside the city. Okay, this question goes to the city and outside the city. So the answer to this question is false. When you are circulating in the city and even the public illumination is poor, you can't use the high beam light. But if you are circulating outside the city and the public illumination is poor, the law says that you can use the high beam light outside the city. But this question is a general question. It doesn't talk about the city or outside the city. So the answer to this question is false. It is not allowed. It's not allowed. Our next question. È consentito l'uso intermittente dei proiettori di profondità a luce abbagliante per segnalare al veicolo che precede, sia di giorno che di notte, l'intenzione di sorpassare, vero o falso? Guys, the questions are very, very sweet. Yeah, the questions are very, very simple. And the answer to this question is vero. Guys, the answer to this question is true. Now, the question says that it is allowed the use of this high beam light, a luce abbagliante. You're talking about the high beam light. To do what? Per segnalare. It means to signal. So if we say to signal, then it doesn't mean that you are using the high beam light for your normal circulation. No. Per segnalare. You are giving a signal. And the veicolo che precede, the vehicle ahead of you, whether in the daytime or at night, that you have intentions to do overtaking. And the answer to this question is true. Guys, if you want to do overtaking, whether in the city or outside the city, you can use the high beam light to give a flashing light to the vehicle ahead of you to know that, look, I want to do overtaking on you. So just watch out. So the answer to this question is true. Per segnalare, to signal. So the answer is vero. Our next question, we've done this question. This one also. Let's come to this. È consentito l'uso intermittente dei proiettori di profondità luce abbagliante per segnalare al veicolo che precede, anche all'interno dei centri abitati, l'intenzione di sorpassare. Vero o falso? So this question is almost the same as the first question or the previous question. Yeah, even in a city, you are allowed to use the high beam light to signal the vehicle ahead of you that you want to do overtaking. And the answer to this question is vero. L'uso dei indicatori di direzione è necessario per segnalare l'intenzione di effettuare una manovra di sorpasso. Vero o falso? And the answer to this question is vero. Yeah. So the use of these direction indicators, it is necessary to signal intentions to do overtaking, of course. So you will signal this direction indicator and then you give a flash, a high flashing light, okay, a flash for the vehicle ahead of you to prepare that indeed he or she is going to be subjected to overtaking. È consentito l'uso intermittente dei proiettori di profondità a luce abbagliante anche all'interno dei centri urbani, ma unicamente di giorno. Vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false. So the use of the high beam light is allowed in the city, only in the daytime. No. The answer to this question is false. Whether in the daytime or at night, you can't use a high beam light in the city. We've done this question. La spia di accensione degli indicatori di direzione è di colore rosso. Vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false. So guys, when you activate the directional indicator, what will be the color of the symbol of the display? What will be the color of the symbol of on the display? Someone says it is bianco. Okay, green, 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 green. Guys, it is green, not bianco. It is green. Yeah, it is verde. Il simbolo raffigurato indica il comando per accendere le luci di posizione, vero o falso? And the answer to this question is false. Yeah, so when you see this symbol, yeah, with a green light on the with a green color on the display, it tells you that you have activated your directional indicators, not your position light, guys. Yeah, so guys, as I said, this chapter, it has many questions. So tomorrow we are going to do extra questions also, where you will see the questions about the Luce and Abaliante, 30 minutes after sunset, 30 minutes before sunrise. We are going to see all those questions also tomorrow, because we have to do many questions on this chapter, because there are many questions, particularly on this chapter. So now let's come to an end, and then let me take your questions and answers. If you have any question, please, yeah, bring your question so that I can throw light to your question.